This afternoon marks an important moment. For the first time in recent memory, we're starting the public process of our hearings right here in the San Fernando Valley at Van Nuys City Hall.
Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Cuneo. I am both a Climate Reality Project member and a member of the Hollywood Dog Obedience Club. In the wake of the recent climate-accelerated fires, cuts to any and all climate-related budget items is short-sighted and destroys Los Angeles and California's claims to climate stewardship. As a crazy dog person, and there are a lot of us, cuts to animal services is a political death sentence, both to the animals and to politicians. The animal services deserves your support. Climate deserves your support. Please, no cuts to either of those. Thank you.
Since this is one continuous meeting, each person is allowed to give comment once. So if you spoke last Friday in Van Nuys, you will not be given an opportunity to speak again.
You will have 1 minute for the only item on the agenda, that is the budget itself. So it is quite broad, but it does need to be related to the budget. We also have to and we will let you know if your time is expired. It's not because we don't want to hear from you. It's because, as you can see, there are a lot of people here. There were a lot of people here on Friday, and there are still people outside of this council chamber who would like to speak.
As a member in the community, we are seeing more trash, less trash bins, and we're concerned with the amount of trash in the streets. We are worried when it gets hot during summer and spring, the odor will be strong for residents to handle. There has been high levels of lead poisoning in our district and nearby neighborhoods. This is hazardous for our community members, especially for our youth and seniors who are greatly impacted.
Hi, with all due respect, this budget is just insane. It's so worrisome to see this council trying to copy the blueprint of the Doge shit department. The mayor proposing a pay raise for her own office while cutting all these other jobs that we actually need. We just lived through the deadliest fires in our history, and we know that this is because of climate change. It's because of having extreme drought followed by extreme rain, and we know that all of this is driven by fossil fuels. So this city is not doing nearly enough to address climate change.
Just a reminder, we've got 220 people to get through still. We're going to get through as many as we can, so we ask that you limit your remarks to a minute. Thank you.
I'm sorry, the gentleman who just shouted out, again, in order to facilitate as many public commenters as possible, please do not disrupt this meeting. Thank you. So the disruption is the instruction that the chair has given. So I see that it is Mr. Akili. I'm going to ask politely, Mr. Akili, please do not disrupt this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. I'm sorry, Speaker. Go ahead.
Sir, this is your last. I ask that you remove him from the meeting so that we can get to the people who have signed up to speak. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Zoe Collins, and I'm representing Heal the Bay, an environmental nonprofit advocating for LA's waterways and the people that rely on them. We're here to express dire concerns with eliminating climate programming, especially the city's Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. Another major concern is the drastic position eliminations at LA Sanitation that will directly result in increased frequency of sewage spills and runoff that impact the health and well-being of not only our ocean, but the people who recreate in it. We're also concerned with the funding cuts to the Department of Planning's Environmental Justice Unit, massive cuts to the city's biodiversity, urban forestry, and soils programs, and the elimination of the LA River Coordinator position. Climate change is no longer an abstract future to plan for, it's here. We're all reckoning with the impacts of the fires exacerbated by climate change and a climate that's warmer each year than the one before it.
Good evening, council members. My name is Alex Jassett, and I'm here on behalf of Physicians for Social Responsibility Los Angeles and as a resident of CD1. I'm here to urge you and Mayor Bass to reconsider the budget proposal with respect to the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. The mayor's budget proposal essentially zeroes out funding for the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office, an office whose mission is to work directly with impacted communities to co-develop climate solutions that are rooted in community. The last thing we should be doing in the wake of the devastating fires earlier this year is trying to dismantle the very office that is tasked with interdepartmental coordination around climate emergencies.
My name is Lisa Hart. I'm with the LA Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance. Please do not cut all our climate-related efforts. Measure HLA, which voters overwhelmingly approved and which is so important for transit, housing, and the city we want to become, needs to be funded. The Climate Emergency Mobilization Office, which is on the verge of bringing in $750,000 and can help vulnerable communities prepare for what is only going to get worse, is on the chopping block right after the terrible fires.
Out of all of the important programs mentioned here today that need to stay, I also have to mention the LA Sanitation, Biodiversity, and Healthy Soils program. Don't we want a healthy, thriving city? Let's leave the dystopian future picture in the Hollywood movies. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Rosalind Helfand, and I'm on the LA City's Biodiversity Expert Council. And I'm speaking out against this startling cuts to social and environmental programs that will impact the safety, health, and security net for Angelenos and our long-term stability. To this end, I asked you to protect and expand our climate change, biodiversity, trees, and healthy soils programs. And this means do not eliminate LA Sanitation's biodiversity and healthy soils program. We need what they are working on right now, including convening the Biodiversity Expert Council, cross-departmental cooperation amongst LA City's departments on biodiversity, nature, and climate. And also they are about to launch work on the local biodiversity strategy and action plan for the city of LA, which will carry us into the future and help to provide safety and security against climate and biodiversity for many years to come. Thank you.
No one here needs to be reminded of the destructive wildfires that tore through LA in January. The fires took 30 lives and over 12,000 homes. They were firestorms unlike anything this city has seen before. The climate crisis is here, the worst is yet to come, and yet the city wants to eliminate the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. This is the only office focused on making sure the most vulnerable among us are the most prepared for climate change. So I'm here to urge you to protect CMO. Absolutely do not eliminate this office when we need it most. And also consider making LAPD responsible for paying the consequence of their own crimes. We should not have to bear the financial burden of their ceaseless wrongdoing. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Andrea Vega. I'm an organizer for Food and Water Watch, and I live in Council District 2. After our city suffered devastating wildfires fueled by the climate crisis, which displaced and upended the lives of thousands, it is reckless and irresponsible for this proposed budget to eliminate the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office, the very office intended to help LA be climate resilient and protect those most at risk by the crisis. The budget also endangers clean energy investments, sustainability projects, air quality monitoring, and clean water programs. This would leave us more vulnerable to ever worsening climate conditions. Climate investments and programs are not a luxury, they are a necessity.
Good evening, council members. I thank you for your time. My name is Raymond Rios. I'm a 65-year resident of Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, and Hillside Village in El Sereno. Growing up in these communities, we were raised by our city's parks. The programs, the staff, the safety they provided for us as children was invaluable. Their positive influences and experience were crucial in developing our characters as adults. Today, we've become community and park advocates and work with many of the same parks that we grew up in. We recognize the extreme value that they serve for the youth of our community by offering viable sports and recreation alternatives in place of gangs or drugs. Our city's parks also provide so many benefits for our senior population, as they offer stimulating programming that leads to healthier lifestyles through fitness and recreation. I urge this council to please preserve the funding of our city's recreation and parks. They already have a history of being dramatically underfunded, so any further cuts would be devastating to the young and the old of our community.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for being here so late. My name is Susie Kim. I've always taken pride in being a native Angeleno, especially because this city has been, for a long time, a leader in setting the standard on environmental policy and showing the world what's possible when a city puts its values into action. This is my first time speaking, but I felt compelled to come here when I learned about the proposed budget cuts, not only with the climate initiatives, including the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office, but also the services that support the youth, the elderly, minorities, and even animal welfare. These aren't just line items. These reflect who we are and what is needed to advance as a society.